Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. Whatever made you decide to want to get into nursing school or become a nurse, whether that be family, whether that be friends, whether one day you just woke up and decided, you know what, I want to try nursing. It's a rewarding career. It's filled with success. It's filled with amazing people, hardworking people, and we're very dedicated. Nursing school is going to be amazing. It's going to be hard. It's going to test your patience. It's going to test your emotions, but it's going to be so well worth it. And I'm so glad that you decided to go to nursing school. So let's get right into it, and let me just share with you my process. Okay, so first thing that made me want to go to nursing school, I've always wanted to be a nurse ever since, high school, but circumstances came along the way and life happened and I never actually really got to do it. So instead of not going to school, I ended up into a bachelor's degree in psychology at a university. I want to say about junior year of my bachelor's degree, I couldn't do it anymore, and I knew that, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with it, and I knew that if I was going to be anything with a psychology degree, I would need possibly a PhD. So with that being said, I got the opportunity to go to nursing school. So toured a couple of schools, I was on the phone with a couple of schools, and then that's my first tip. So first tip is to pick a school. And that's going to take some time. So I understand that most people who want to go to nursing school, they're in a rush. And I was in a rush, and I was very excited because here I am. I'm 25. I've got a daughter, and I'm just ready to get my life started. I'm ready to get my career started. But nursing school is not something to rush. It is something that you need to take your time, something that you're going to have to be very dedicated. So choosing a school took about 3 months. So I toured 2 schools and I had phone interviews with 3. So a total of 5 schools. So my suggestion is take your time. I understand that time is not always of the essence, but take your time in choosing a school because every school is different. Every school has different programs. Some have online classes. Some want you to be there Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. So for my instance, I couldn't be in school Monday through Friday, 7 to 3. I have to work. So I chose a school that had online classes and in-course classes. And so I'm in class maybe 2-3 days out the week, and then the rest of it's done online. And so that for me was more available and more flexible for my schedule and for my lifestyle. But, everyone's different. And some schools do offer the Monday through Friday, I think 7 to 3, or it could be different. Every school is different. I chose the school with the online and both in-course classes. So with that school, they made me do an orientation or kind of like a tour. That tour was 2 hours long. So a lot of them are pretty much a couple hours long. They do suggest that you bring people who are going to support you, people who are just there for you. And so for me, I didn't bring anybody, and I wish I would have. And so that's another tip, is just bring someone who is going to be there for you through this whole journey, whether that be your mom, your dad, sister, brother, best friend, anybody. And then just don't be there alone, because they're going to throw so much information at you. There's going to be so many numbers being thrown at you as far as costs, as far as credits, as far as time frames, and then as far as the different programs, because there are LPN, there's still ADN, there is the BSN and accelerated BSN. And so you're going to have to weigh out your options, and you're going to have to think about which program it is that you're trying to get into, whether that be LPN and eventually transition into the RN BSN, or just jump right into the BSN. And then that depends on how much time you have and how quick do you want to be a nurse. So for me, I wanted the BSN because I was already almost to a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I had worked so hard, and I'm like, I'm not going to be a nurse and not have my bachelor's degree, because in my area, a lot of nurses need a bachelor's degree to work in the hospital. So, and I already work in the hospital, so I need the bachelor's degree. Well, next step is the TEAS test. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but a lot of schools want you to take an entrance exam. So the entrance exam for the school that I chose was the TEAS, TEAS. And that test is very rigorous. You need to study. That is not a test that you can walk in, just sit down and take. That is a test that you want to give yourself 2 to 3 months to prepare. And I'm not joking. That test is a mix of things you've learned in high school. That test is a mix of college course questions. And a majority of it's science. So if you're like me, science is not my best subject, neither is math. And so I needed to take more time to study the science portion and study the math portion so that I can ace the TEAS. So with the TEAS, for my school, they score you based on your TEAS, and then the score that you get on the TEAS is what program you're able to get into. So for the LPN program, I think that the score was 60 or under. I can't really quite remember, but I believe that's what it was. And then for the ADN, which is the Associates in Nursing, registered nurse, I think it was 65 and up for a score, and then for the BSN it was 75 and up. So those numbers might not be correct. Each school's different, and not each school does a TEAS exam, but I guarantee all nursing schools want you to take an entrance exam, and then their scores will be different based on each school. So for my school example, that's what those scores were. And so the first time I took the TEAS, I did not get into the RN program. I was very upset, very hurt. I had prepared for this exam for 2 months. I had bought books from Barnes & Noble. I had watched YouTube videos. I watched crash courses. I did the whole work. I put my whole heart and soul into this test. This test is also $40. So if you're like me, budgeting and everything, so I was like, $40, I'm gonna ace this test one time, and this is what I'm gonna do to get in nursing school. So no, I did not get into the RN program. I got into the LPN program, but LPN was not what I was trying to go for. I was actually trying to go for the BSN, like I had said, and that just didn't happen. So the advisor advised me that I take no less than 2 weeks. He's like, if you take more than 2 weeks to redo your TEAS, you're gonna forget. So he's like, come back next week. So I came back the very next week, and I scored, and I got into the RN program. From the average I got before, I was 12 or 13 points above from that old average, but I still did not get into the BSN program. So I got into the ADN RN program. I did not get into the BSN program, which is what I wanted, and I did not take the TEAS the third time. Now that's another tip. I did not take the TEAS the third time. I wish I would have. I wish I would have spent that $40. I wish I would have taken it the third time. I guarantee I would have gotten into that BSN program. But you know what? It's okay. We all make mistakes. We all regret our decisions sometimes, and that's just something I regret, but that's okay, because you know what, God has blessed me, and I'm in a great position where when I graduate with my ADN, I will be grandfathered in as an RN at my job, and then as long as I'm working on my BSN, then that's it, and that's all that matters. So I am currently in the ADN program. I'm a year in, so I don't know what that makes me. I don't know if that makes me a sophomore or a junior. I don't think we count that in nursing school, but I am a year in, and I am currently in nursing classes. So I've completed all of my prereqs. And that's another thing, that's another tip and trick I want to give you guys. So I have a background of psychology, so a lot of my classes did transfer over. There are going to be some prereqs, actually quite a few prereqs, depending on which program you get into. So for LPN, I think it's just basic English and math, and some maybe some anatomy and things like that. For the RN, ADN, and BSN as well, it's going to be both your anatomies 1 and 2. It's going to be your algebra, and then for your BSN, it's going to be statistics. And then for sciences, it's going to be biology and things like that. So you're going to want to make sure that you do have your prerequisites. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to get into a nursing school and you have no prereqs and you just want to get them all done at that school, that's fine. You might spend a little bit more money. It depends on what school you're going to, but I do suggest doing those at a community college. I do suggest getting your, if it's available, getting, you know, anatomy and biology and algebra and stats out of the way, because you don't want to be stressed out right when you get into nursing school, because if your school is anything like mine, they're going to mix your prereqs. You're not going to always just have straight prereqs. They're going to mix your prereqs with some nursing courses, and you really want to focus on your nursing courses because those are going to be the most important. So with that, so yes, get your prereqs out of the way. That's just my suggestion. Everyone's boat is different. Everyone's ride is different. So don't compare yourself to others. And the next tip, don't compare yourself to others. That goes from the minute you start thinking about nursing school to the end when you finally graduate. Even throughout your career, please do not compare yourself to others. I did that my whole entire time of getting into nursing school. And, oh, what did you get on your TEAS? What did you get on your TEAS? Oh, I should probably be in the BSN program. And it's just, you don't want to do that. There's already enough stress. There's already enough things on your plate. And it's not just the TEAS. It's the other things that they want you to have to get into nursing school. So after you take your TEAS, after you get accepted into the program that you want and that you're happy with, then it's gathering all of the things that you need to get into nursing school. So those things are going to be your shot records, things like birth certificate, social security, your transcripts from any other schools that you've been to, and just gathering all of those things can be hard. So like for me, I've gone to 2 different other schools. I am not from Tampa. I am from a different county in Florida, so getting those shot records were kind of difficult because it's a military town and I was born on base and things like that. So getting those shot records were difficult for me. I had to go to the Florida Department of Health and get those shot records, and then some shots were missing that I know I had gotten, but I had to get titers drawn. Titers are going to be from, you can go to a primary care doctor or any lab, get your titers drawn to see if you have those tracings of those shots in your vaccine. So I had to get those drawn, and I actually had to get updates on like hepatitis shots and things like that. So you just want to make sure everything's in line. That does take time. And so from the time that I chose to go to nursing school to the time I took my TEAS to the time I got my shot records and everything in place, it was like 2 more months. So a total time frame of 4 months just to get into nursing school. So then after that, it's ordering uniforms and getting your financial aid or your scholarships, or whether that be student loans ready. And it just takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. I know you're ready to start. I was so ready to start, and I know you're anxious, but it's just the time frame, and that's just what it is. So but after you get all of that out of the way, then finally you are a student. You are a student, and I'm so happy for you. If you are watching this and you're already a student, and maybe you're showing this to a friend, or maybe you're just watching because you're bored, whatever the case may be, I'm just happy that you're here. I'm happy that you decided to go to nursing school. I'm happy that you're maybe in nursing school already. Like, this is so exciting, you guys, and this is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is what I've been dreaming of doing forever. It's just taking care of people, and there's just more to come. So my whole purpose of these videos is just to keep it real with you guys, give you guys tips and tricks. This is a chance for me to reflect as well on things I've already been through, classes I've already taken, or classes that I'm going through now. And so I'd like to recreate that and look back on those things, and maybe share with you guys some tips and tricks, and share with you guys my mistakes so that you don't make those mistakes. I'm all about positivity. So if you have any questions or comments, please, drop those down below. I'm all about positivity. We are all here to support each other. Nursing school is so difficult. It's hard, but it's just such an amazing journey. It's gonna test your patience. It's gonna test your emotions. If you're not a crier, well, guess what? You're a crier now. If you're not a person that gets angry easily, guess what? You're gonna get angry. This is just it is what it is. Like, and you got to put your whole heart and your whole mind into it. This is not something that you can just sit down and act like it was high school. This is serious. These classes are rigorous. These classes are hard. The information it comes at you, and if you don't catch it quickly, you're gonna get lost. If you're one of those people who comes to class and you're just scrolling through your phone, you're gonna get lost. You're gonna miss so much information. If you're one of those people who just doesn't show up to class, not gonna happen. So not in nursing school, I'm so sorry. Normal colleges, when I was getting my psychology degree, yeah, I could maybe miss a couple classes here and there. Nursing school, not mine. Like, after you miss 2 classes, they drop you. Like, they don't care. So it's just, I'm not here to discourage anybody. I'm really here to just create a positive channel. If anyone has any questions, or if anyone wants to hear more about something, I'm more than happy to make a video dedicated to that and to maybe dig deeper into things. Also currently in pharm, so I was thinking about making a video dedicated to pharmacology for nursing students. I do have a little story about pharmacology. It's such a special class to me, and if you want to hear more about that, just drop that down below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.